Hello, welcome to this new Pandora FMS workshop. Today we will talk about Metaconsole and some functionalities. We will talk about how to register nodes, the main views, sync and item modification capabilities, automatic provisioning, and at last centralized mode. Well, the first is that it's important to say that a Metaconsole is a type of Pandora FMS installation. It differentiates the license, but its component will be similar to a node. The functionalities will change with this license because it allows us to manage different nodes from a single point. The first that we will see is how we can to add new nodes in Metaconsole. If we click in Advanced, Meta Setup and Console Setup, we will see what nodes we have registered here. In this case, I have already configured one node, and we see some check that will indicate sync status of DB, API, compatibility, because version installed of Pandora FMS in Metaconsole must be similar that in Node. We will see two event replication. If it is active, Node will send the events to the Metaconsole. Agent cache is for status of agent that will update here in Metaconsole 2. And here we have some tokens like a label that is the name what I have registered here, console address and DB host. Well, we will add a new node. In this case will be node 2, and we will check here. We will see that we have some tokens that we need to complete. We will start with the name. In this case, I will name it like node2. Console address, in this case, is node2.pandorafms.com/console. If I open here, I will check that is active. Auth token, this is for logging in Node directly from Metaconsole without typing pass. In this case, auth token is Pandora, and EP password for make call to the Node API. Well, it's important to say that Metaconsole will need to reach the Node database, and the Node need to reach Metaconsole database. So we need to do the correct grants for it. And we also need to give permission to Metaconsole for making call to the Node API. This point must be set in the Node configuration menu. If we open Node configuration menu and general setup, we will check here token for automatic login and API password, and important to add here the Metaconsole address for give it permissions. So we will continue. In this case, console user is admin, password Pandora, DB host node2.pandorafms.com, DB name Pandora, DB user Pandora, and DB password Pandora 2. So here we need to select to add the Metaconsole DB host and DB name, DB user, DB password, and port. We will click add to adding other node, so we check now that all is synchronized with node 1 and node 2. Well, if we click here in tree view, for example, we will check that now we have agents from node 1, but in a few moments agents from node 2 will appear here. And if we click in tactical view, for example, we have some views that we can use, and all the information, all the group status, monitor, agent, etc. of node 1 and node 2 will appear here and can be checked from a single point. For example, group view, monitor view, where we can filter for make a search, and we have a wizard menu too that allow us to make change in agents, alerts, and module from here. For example, to change IP address in one agent that can now be made from this point, from Metaconsole. Well, if we open events, we will see that we have all the events of 2 nodes that now are shown here in Metaconsole, so we can manage it from this point. And we can use all the information that we have now here to make reports, to make surveys, to make visual console, etc. Well, now we will see how we can to synchronize items, passing them from Metaconsole to Node, and how we can create and manage these items. For example, in advanced synchronized, we will check that we have some tabs with user synchronization, groups, alerts, components, etc. And from here we can to send, we can to deploy items that we will create here to the nodes. Well, for example, in user management, we will see that we have 2 users. Now we can create a new user. In this case, text workshop. We will give it a pass and a profile. Okay, user is now created. We have here the user that we have created, but if we click in user of nodes, we will see that we don't have it, because we need to sync this user. If we click on synchronizing, we select test workshop, the new user created, and for example, we will deploy it to node 2. Here we can copy profile or new profile, give to each user a new profile. In this case, I will copy profile and I will deploy it to node 1. Okay. Now, if we update user list on node, we see that the new user is available to use here too. In node 2, he is not, because we don't synchronize it to node 2. And we can use this with, for example, alerts. In this case, we have created testing template. I think that it is in node 2. We will see. Yes, we will create a new template. Test workshop in this case. Next, and now is here. Well, now in synchronizing, we can to deploy it to node 1 and node 2, for example. Okay, a message will show it. It says that it's okay. Two templates are now created here, and if we check now, node 2 will appear here this new template, and in node 2 it is true. So it's work and it's very useful. Okay, this feature can be used with other elements, for example tags, component synchronization, operation system synchronization, groups. If we create here new groups, we can to deploy it, and it's recommended if we have an environment that is managed by centralized mode with Metaconsole. We recommend to have all the groups synchronized. Okay, now we will see for agent some features that are very useful. For example, migration for moving agent from one node to other. With agent movement menu, we can to send agent from one node to other node. In this case, we will test it, for example, with this. We have here an agent, call it router. We will send it to node 1. Okay, we will add it and we will click on move. Some checks will indicate all the configuration that we need to have for this. In this case, all is okay, so we click next. And now the agent have in queue. So if we click again to agent movement, if we check step token, it will show that is complete. So now in node 1, this agent will appear. Now router is in node 1. So here, node 2, it disappeared. Okay. Now we can use, for example, auto provisioning rules for assigning agent to one or another node automatically. If we click provisioning management, we will see that we have 3 options. We have round robin, we have less loaded, and we have custom. Okay, round robin will okay, if we click on provisioning management, we can choose 3 different types of auto provisioning. We can use round robin. In this case, the distribution of agent will be done in circular way, assigning the corresponding server to each new agent. For example, if we install a new agent, we'll report in node 1, the next in node 2, the next in node 1, next node 2, etc. We can use to list loaded. In this case, the new agent will be dynamically assigned to the server with less load. And at last we can use custom. With custom we will try, but we can create classification rule, and following this classification rule we can do change in config file automatically. For example, here I have created a new classification rule named test workshop, and we want to modify config file and add this token server IP pointing to node 1. Well, now we need classification rule, and in this case we will use that we want to apply this change to new agent which alias starting with test. Okay, now it's created and I have an agent installed in my computer. Server IP is Metaconsole, and now if we restart service Pandora agent, this will change, so this will point to node 1. We will try it and we will see how it works. So if now we click here on start service, this is now different. Now it's pointing to node 1. So in a few moments this agent will appear here in node 1 agent list. We will wait some seconds. And now we see that the agent is reporting in node 1, following the classification and custom rule on provisioning management. Okay. Well, now if we open, for example, menu collection, we will see that we can manage it without activate centralized management, and this is for policies and for auto provisioning, auto configuration menu too. So if we activate centralized management, test items will be managed only from Metaconsole. So we will test it. We will click on Meta Setup. We will activate centralized management. We will force this change in license validate. So now in policy management we will see that we have here all the policies. And now if we click on collections, we will see that we have here the collection. So if, for example, we create now a new collection, we will see that this collection will be updated automatically here and in node 2, because now is active centralized management. So we will test it. We will create a workshop test collections. For example, we will create a text file testing. This is a test for workshop. And now in collection, if apply changed, we have two messages. One message is showing that is created successfully and is added to the node. So now here the collection will appear, and in node 2, 2. So if we create a policy, we can check that the behavior will be similar. For example, test policy. Now is here and is here too, and in node 2 is available too. So this is that we can make with centralized mode. And for example, in agent management auto configuration, we can create a new rule, and we will try with a test. Here we can use different rules, and following this classification rule, we can automatically define a change for the agents that follows these rules. For example, we can a new agents with alias starting with dest and operation system with Windows. We want to add in a group and apply a policy. We will define the rules, in this case alias starting with dest and operation system Windows. Now we can create the rules. For example, we want that the new agent that start reporting with alias dest and operation system window, we want to add it to group workstation, and we want to apply basic Windows monitoring. So we can create, and now we will try. We will use the same agent that we have used for auto provisioning. In this case, desktop, that is my computer. Okay, I will delete first. I can do it from here, and in centralized mode it's recommended to use this menu for it. In this case I will delete. Okay, I will stop the service, and now I will make a change in config file. I will point to node 2 and the rules configured like we have shown before, is that if alias starting on desk and operation system Windows, we want to move the agent to workstation and apply basic Windows monitoring policy. So we start the agent service for starting monitoring it, and we will wait some minutes, some seconds. So in a few moments the agent will appear reporting here and will appear in group workstation. We will take a moment, and now here it is in workstation groups, and in policies tab he's ready to apply basic Windows monitoring. So when we click on policies management, we will see that this agent appear in basic monitoring management. Okay. Well, this is all. Thank you for watching, and I see that there are no questions, so goodbye and thank you. The will workshop will be on October 29. So in the description of this video I left the link for joining, and it will be about network advanced monitoring and auto discover. So goodbye and thank you.